Well, Shabbat Shalom. It's been a busy week for us. We were in with family reunion in Southeast Florida, Fort Lauderdale area, Miami area, Fort Lauderdale really, and had a great time with family, visiting from California as well there. And so we're back, and came back to, big NRB conference. We just touched base there with the Israel War Room at Opryland Hotel. Incredible Israel presence there. And then last night, a big event for Israel with the showing of the footage from the October 7th massacre. And that's all you can, that's the major word for it. Massacre is all it was, and we need to keep keep it in our memory. We can't deviate from that, because keeping it before the public, because all the pressure is mounting and going to continue to mount on Israel for a ceasefire and this kind of nonsense, which a ceasefire, to be blunt, means Israel loses the war. To put it in the words, to reiterate the words of one of the Army officers, IDF officers that explained that. So this is why we need to be informed and learn and continue to educate and help people understand why Israel has to win this war, why it's so important. And of course, we're on two fronts. We're on the war for Israel, and we're on the war against the enemy, the spiritual enemy of our people, to keep them from knowing their Messiah, to knowing the coming back to the God of Israel. And that's where our heart is. Well, we're in the Revelation, the book of Revelation, the Apocalypse, and we're in chapter 1, verse 20. So you have a great Shabbat Shalom this Shabbat. We hope you'll be with us tomorrow for a great service. But we'll look at some things next week and just give you, in Revelation, we'll continue with our study there. But in chapter 1, verse 20, he mentions this. He says, as for the mystery of the 7 stars that you saw in my right hand. Yeshua is holding 7 stars, remember, in John's vision. And the 7 stars, he says, you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden menorot, the 7 golden lampstands. The lampstands are menorahs, like there was one lampstand in the temple, and outside of the Holy of Holies, giving light. Holy of Holies didn't need any light because God was the light himself. But outside of the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh Kodeshim, the holy place, the menorah was the light, and the lamps needed to be lit every evening till the morning. We'll probably be speaking about that tomorrow and what that means for us. Well, he says, you saw in my right hand 7 golden menorahs, and these menorahs, these lampstands, are the 7 congregations, the messianic communities throughout Asia Minor, throughout what it would be today Turkey, modern Turkey. And the 7 stars in the are the angels of Messiah's 7 communities, John says. And the 7 menorahs are the 7 communities, the 7 kehilot. Remember, ecclesia in Greek, outcalled of God, kehilot, the communities. We are the Messiah's body. So they all represent the Messiah's body universally, but we're active, living, specific communities, we clearly believe. But who are these angels, these messengers, these angels, these 7? He says they are the 7 angels. The 7 stars are the angels. Well, angel, remember, in both Hebrew and Greek mean messenger as well. Angel, malach in Hebrew, and angelos in Greek. Easy to remember, right? Malach in Hebrew, like where we get malachim, messengers or angels, and angelos. You've known someone by the name of Angelo. Well, messenger. So the messenger, they could have been guardian angels. They could have been guardian angels that he's writing to, but why would he write angels' letters? Think about it. You don't write angels' letters. He didn't need to write angels' letters. Secondly, they could have been messengers or delegates carrying the letters to the communities. Now that's very plausible, very plausible. Someone had to communicate to the communities and bring those letters. Thirdly, they could have been shepherds. And J. Vernon McGee clearly said they were shepherds, and I like that interpretation. shepherds. Now, John the Immerser was called an angel, called a messenger. Yeshua said in Matthew 11:10, he was a prophet. He said, yes, he was a prophet, but he was more than a prophet. Behold, and he quoted Malachi, the Italian prophet, joking. That's Malachi. Behold, I send my messenger, my malach, my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. So, speaking of John the Immerser, John the Baptist, not Methodist or Presbyterian, but John the Immerser, John the Jewish prophet who fulfilled Elijah's prophecy. John Malachi's prophecy. He wasn't Elijah, he was the prophet, but he was a messenger. So clearly, it seems that these were those in Yeshua's hand he's protecting. They were his shepherds of the congregations that are responsible for overseeing the congregations. And it's beautiful because they're a covering for their congregations. Now, as we move into chapters 2 and 3, which we're going to do next week, these are not true letters necessarily, but they are messages or special words and possibly oracles. They form a sequel to chapter 1, and they're part of a common letter sent to all seven communities, all the menorahs, all 7 communities, all the churches or 7 communities. Messiah comes to inspect the communities, and he issues words of warning and notes of encouragement. So they're all similar. They all have similar aspects to them that we'll see. But they resemble prophetic oracles of the Tanakh, of the Old Testament, and they're beautiful and they're powerful, and though they're intent for the specific communities, they're applicable and relevant to every aspect of the body of Messiah, and they're meant for all of us, the universal body of Messiah, as part of the Apocalypse or the Book of Revelation. So they're powerful in their challenges, and they're powerful in their promises, and we're going to see, and we're going to look at next week. First, we're going to start, Lord willing, Monday with Ephesus, the most prominent and strategic city of these 7, and the most important messianic community probably in the New Covenant. And we'll see what Paul had to say, what Paul had to do with that congregation, and what John has to say, what in this letter, or what the communication is. It's very, very important, most strategic city perhaps there, perhaps the greatest impact ministry that Paul had was really at Ephesus. So and very powerful, and we're going to look at it, and this is where Yeshua talks about the menorah being maybe taken out of its place. Don't lose your first love. Be careful lest you lose your first love. Really leave your first love. So we'll look at that at Ephesus next week. But this is the Apocalypse we're looking at. We'll continue our study. You have a Shabbat Shalom. Be with us tomorrow. Physically, it's going to be a great and powerful time together. May the Lord visit us. May He bless your Shabbat. May He bless you, your family, your loved ones this Shabbat. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.